today I'm going to continue to do some glaze demo for you. Last video I actually showed the demo of how to glaze a bowl, and actually I missed a spot right here. Then I went to touch up a little bit. So I don't know if you can see this right here. If you notice, I actually have a double layer. So where's the double layer of the glaze gonna look just a little whiter than the single layer, and I think that would be kind of cool too. And since this is a white glaze, I want to put some pattern on the surface. And what I can do is I can use a brush to brush it on, or I can just pour the glaze on top. Now remember, when you have two glaze combined, the glaze always lower than its original melting points. That means they're gonna start running a little bit. They're gonna have some sort of eutectic happening. Therefore, if you're gonna mix the glaze together, I always suggest try inside. You know, because if you don't know what is the two glaze mixed together, not mixed together, on top of each other, you don't know what does it look like. It's better off to put it inside. So if they run, actually pull inside of your bowl instead of everywhere. So so I'm gonna do one of the technique glazing, and I'm also gonna do some of the wax resistance and technique for glazing to create some pattern for you. But first, we're gonna do a glaze on the surface. You know, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little, because this is a white glaze, I'm gonna take a little darker glaze, and I just kind of run across it, and then we'll see how they look like. Yeah. Okay. So right here. So what I'm going to do is when I do the glazing, you know, I'm just gonna hold my bucket constant like this, let them drip, and then kind of run my glaze across like this. So I'm like, okay, maybe a little bit too much. So we're gonna do it again one more time. We're gonna go like that. Like that. Like that. So we're gonna have a little different pattern right there. Okay. So that might be interesting, might be weird, but oh well. That's how you can do it. So you can do a plate like that, you can do the cup like that, you can do anything like that. Okay. Now the second thing that I want to show you is I think I'm talking about the popping the glaze. So I did that yesterday to do a little pop glaze, but this time I want to do some sort of surface design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use a wax resist. Okay, so we got the pour glaze on the surface, so you see the contrast between white, light, and dark. And now I'm going to do a wax resist. So there's a few different way of doing the wax resist pattern. So first I'm going to dip the glaze right here. Okay. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm going to take it out. Once I take it out, I'm going to put it upside down, okay, because I'm going to let them dry a little bit, okay. I'm put this on the side, so I want to come a little closer to you so you get to see it. But I'm making a mess. So you can see it right here. So the glaze is kind of dry out already, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the glaze. Apply the wax, because I'm doing the wax resist. How should I do it? Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take this right here, okay? I'm gonna take a little brushes. I mean, if you have a nicer, thinner brushes, I think I suggest you do that, use that, but I just want a random. So you can see right now, there's this first coat, there's nothing inside because I'm gonna rinse this pot. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Don't worry. One coat of a glaze right here. This is Tamoku, probably give me some sort of brown in there. I could probably dip it one more time, give me the black, but you know, that's okay. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna wax it. When I wax it, that means whatever the glaze that I hold, there's a glaze, if I wax it like this, okay, that means underneath that wax, gonna hold the black, you know, whatever the glaze, the first layer of the glaze. So I'm going to turn that right here. Maybe I put another one on the opposite side. So again, I have a first coat of glaze. Now I put wax on top. Whoa, boom, like that. You see? Okay, so again, underneath that wax is my first color. Are we doing good? Okay, so I just need you to hold the thought right now because I need to wait that to dry. While I'm waiting that to dry, I'm going to show you something else. Okay, so right here, what I'm going to do is wait until this dry. I'm going to use the water to rinse them off. So because this is a water-based clay, water-based wax, so wherever there's a wax will hold the glaze, the rest of it will wash off. So it will probably look some sort of like the big pattern like this, okay? And then once they dry out, they dip the second glaze. I know it's very confusing, but just hold the thought right there, okay? So again, this is the first layer of a glaze. I put the wax on, now I'm waiting for wax to dry because the wax is water-based wax. So what I'm going to do later is I'm going to rinse it off, but I'm going to show you later, okay? So just keep this in mind. When I usually glazing, I use the multiple. I glaze multiple because try to wait for the glaze to dry is like very painful. Or like wax to dry is very painful. So again, it looks like almost dry. If I keep talking, probably going to dry. But I'm going to stop talking because I want to show you. The next one is, if you notice right here, the wax is dry already. Can you see? Okay. So this is absolutely dry already. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, this is a second method. I try to confuse you right now. This is the first method. I'm going to use the water to rinse it off. The second method, I already have a glaze inside. I already glazed underneath. But what I want to do is I want to carve. I already put the wax on top. Can you see? So I want to put a carving on top of a wax. And I'm going to carve through the first layer. And then once I've done that, I will put in a second coat of the colors. And so have a different color variations. So that means where I carve it, and then gonna something look like boom boom like this. Can you see it? That's the first layer of a color, and then I wax it, then I carve through it. And of course, right now you would say, "What the heck are you talking about?" So what I'm gonna do right here is, like I say, I'm gonna put some wax on top, right? But this one's already dry. But basically, I'm gonna do it like this. I'll let them dry a little bit. Yeah. This is not dry. This is not good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Maybe you would do some carving. So I'm gonna come to you right here. I'm gonna do a little carving. I don't know. Can you see this? So you can see right now, I'm actually carve away the wax as well as the first layer of the glaze. So I'm allow the. I'm gonna do it right here. Right here, it's a little head right there. Gonna sit on the little building. Okay, right there. All right. So maybe, just maybe. Okay. Maybe I put another gals right there. I'm gonna put it right here. Here you go. So you can see right now, you can see a lot of glaze. I actually carved through the wax and then carved through the first layer of the glaze. So right now what you see right here underneath is clay body. Okay? Are we good? Are we good? Okay. So again, the top is a little wet, so I'm gonna let them dry just a little bit. So now what I'm gonna do is, because my bottom is a dark color, so I'm actually gonna take a little lighter color to fit it in there. So what are you talking about right now? Okay, so I think I already started this right here. Okay, so when I'm gonna bring it in here, I'm gonna take a little bit of wax right here. Okay, I'm gonna bring it a little closer. So now right here, can you see it? Now I'm gonna take the second colors, which is a white, and I'm going to fit in to the hole, the line that I carved through. If you let your glaze dry, it actually has a nicer, cleaner line. But right now, I didn't quite let it dry. So I'm going to do this. Again, all that cavity, I'm putting into a lighter glaze. It's a little messy right there, but that's okay, because I can take the sponge and kind of dab it off. And actually the glaze is inside, the white glaze is inside the crevices. Yeah? So you're gonna take you need to take your time, okay? So you can slowly reveal it. I'm dabbing, I'm not heavily wiping, because I don't want to wipe off all the glaze on the top. So I'm gonna do that, can you see? Now, so I have a dark glaze underneath and white glaze in the crack, so that's gonna have a very nice white line in there. So this is reverse right here, and this one right here, you see, that is a yellow glaze on the bottom, and I did the wax and I draw through the wax and the first layer of glaze, and then I feeds in the black glaze, and then like that, you take it into a firing, and it will be done. The wax will burn off about 500-600 Fahrenheit, and your glaze will fuse. The white glaze will fuse with red. Black. There you go. Okay. Now, so that's one example of using a wax. Another way to use a wax, and I already told you right here. This is perfectly dry right now. Can you see it right there? So that means this part right here is wax. Underneath is glaze. Yes. I want this pattern, okay? I want this pattern to be black, but the rest of it, I don't want the rest of the area to be black. So how do you keep these colors, stay in the same colors? What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna wash it. And after I wash it, about about 24 hours later, then you can take the second, this is reverse. You're gonna take the second glaze and put it on top, okay? So that's exactly how they work, like here. You see? So now I'm gonna take you, and I'm gonna take you right here. You're gonna walk with me. We're gonna come to the right here. Okay. Right now I'm gonna take this. Hopefully you can see me. Right here. Alright. So I'm gonna use actually a little harder splash. I'm gonna rinse it off. I hope you can see me. You can see me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woohoo! Okay. Now, gonna let them dry. So can you see right now? The first layer of the glaze still stay on there. Can you see? Then I just have to wait for 24 hours. Dip another glaze that is contrast with my pattern. And voila, you're getting something like this. You see? Woohoo! Okay. That's it for wax resist. Go make a lot of clay and not a glaze. Go have some fun. Yeah? Okay. 2 things. Remember? I'm gonna bring it out right here again. Remember, wax resist. You can rinse it off. Can you glaze it right away? Absolutely not. You have to wait for 24 hours because your clay already, absorb the maximum amount of water. So that's one way to keep the patterns. And then secondly, carve through the glaze and then put in the first layer. That will get you, put it in the second layer of a glaze, that will get you something like this. This and this. This. With the second color, you can get this. Are we good? Go to work.